Hey, it's David or Dave or whoever I am right now at Dave Knight Trading. I want to talk about Tony Robbins a little bit. Um, Bonus day. We had a bonus day. You know, there's a lot of talented people inside the members area, and I want to give you two thumbs up. And the Time to Rise Summit 2024. Um, Jess put out some information. There's other ones I've seen out there that have done things. So it's really cool. I've chose my medium as YouTube. Some people putting some Facebook content out. I want to get into the most important concept I want to talk about today that I haven't totally come to a grasp. I'm still working on is Paul Tudor Jones. Um, Tony Robbins talked about Paul Tudor Jones. I I never met him physically, but I did go to where his commodity firm was located. I believe it was in Fort Lauderdale or close to that area at one point. It reminds me of a time when this would be back in 1995, and I was thinking to myself, boy, I'd love to work with this guy at this point in time. I actually knew of him. You can actually find a video of him um, somewhere. I forget where I found it. It was when you could, people had ways that you could grab everyone's information without paying for it back in the day. Can't remember what it was called, but it was like a big place that people could go, and I grabbed a bunch of stuff and I got it. And this is not a hard drive, but I have like my hard drive that has a lot of that stuff. If I can find that, maybe I can add that to the members area at some point that I want to put together. Um, I got lots of video content that's on that might come, might be good for you. I don't know. I don't know what I'm going to do. Some of that might be copyrighted, so I'm going to be careful about what I can and can't do. Um, anyway, Paul Tudor Jones is what I want to get to at some point. 5-1. So haven't. I want to show you one thing here that I was working on. Down here at the bottom. Right now I'm going after a 2R target, or I put a 2R target, and I was trading 5, 3, and 1. 5 off at 1.5, 3 off at 3p, and 1 off at 6p. And when you break that out, that would have been $659 versus $216. That's a 3-1. So that's not good enough. If I reduce from 48 ticks per contract down to 24 ticks per contract, meaning a 1R stop, that's 108. It works out to be $108 on the MNQ. So 659 divided by 108 is a 6-1. If I wanted to physically get to 3-1 or 5-1, today that would have been 30 ticks on 9 contracts. And I don't know where that would put it at, but that would be, that would physically get to that. Now, a lot of times, anyway, so that's kind of what I want to get back to in a minute. So let's talk about Tony Robbins. And he went on, let me find where he started the day. So he started the day with 7 patterns that get in the way. Number 1, my fear, my depression, my anxiety. Stop the language of anything that you attach I am to with enough intensity and consistency, you will become. You have to change yourself. It's easy to change a pattern. When people, so basically what I think he was saying about that, When you say I am, I am a loser, I am a failure. When you put those kind of connotations into your thinking, it makes life a lot harder. Like today, um, not a good trading day for me today. I've had overall in the month of January. I'm not going to put any more dollars into January, just so you know where I am. I believe I'm at 205.8. So I've put $205.80 in the month, and that is I think 3 resets and 3 paid for. I believe I'm not exactly sure. 3360 and 35 105, and it worked out to be 205 overall, which once again is better than losing 2,500 times 6 at this point. That would be so. Um, anyway, number 2, when people say it's me, that's not true. It's just a pattern. 3, stress around finding your purpose. And then he talked about RPM, result, purpose, and a massive action plan. What do I want? Why do I want it? Develop a map. Massive. What is the 20% that will give me the 80% of what I am? Um, Number 4, perfect is the lowest standard of all. Greatness comes from practice. Steph Curry practices 500 shots per day. You do not have to be perfect. Perfect is a bad thing trying to get into. 5, I feel so good, but I don't want this to go away. Um, Number 6, thinking without action. Number 7, disempowering psychology, beliefs versus a set of psychology, beliefs empowering in any environment. And he talked about immersion and daily practices, breaking the pattern, right? So when you're in a negative state of mind, breaking that pattern. He talked about the warrior, which is here for me. He talked about the I won't call him the Joker, but it's oh, I just what's it called? The second one's called. I won't call him the Joker, but it's not a magician. Magician, the Joker, magician. Then you got the lover, and then the sovereign or God. So everybody has their state of the archetypes. Um, Focus on not losing money, asset allocation. Greatest investors have an asymmetrical risk to reward. Then he talked about Paul Tudor Jones. He risks $1 to make 5, and he can lose. Let me just get it out there. He can lose 5 times and still make money. So risk $1 to make 5, risk $1 to make 4, risk $1 to make 3, risk $1 to make 2, risk $1 to make $1. So he can lose 5 times in any trade that he's in and still make money, and that's how he and overall has made his. I forget the fund that he ran. Like I said, it was at he was out of Fort Lauderdale, if I remember right. Um, and number 4 is diversification. He wrote a new book called Holy Grail of Investing. I don't think I have. I definitely don't have that book. I don't have his last couple of books he's written, plus the Holy Grail of Investing. I did pick up the one that he did, 7 something. He talked about if you put money away at age 19 in a stock market, I think that, and you invested for 8 years, that would work out to be 35 years would be. Um, where was that at? That was actually pretty good. Actually, I think it's on my phone. Hold on. See if I can find that. So I can't make it happen, but I can. My one boy's only 21, and my other is only 18, so they can make it work for them. See if I can find that photo of what he showed. Maybe I can show you. See if we can get this blown up a little bit. I don't know if you all can see that, but that was what he talked about. Two people that are investing. You have to pause it and then look at it. One was Joe, age 19. He invests for 8 years, $300 per month. Stops investing at age 27. Total investment of $28,800. That would be equal to $1.8 million when he's at age 65. Bob, it starts at age 27, puts away $300 per month. Both of these have a compounding tax-free environment at 10% per year, basically. He will invest, stop investing at age 65. So he's going to go from 27 to 65. He's a total investment of $140,000. He is at 1.58 million. So the point was the boy that's at 19 years old for 8 years, $300 a month over. Stop investing after 8 years, 27. He'll have 1.8 million, and the other that invested at age 27 is only going to have 1.5 million, and he invested to age 65. So 27 to 65, obviously, that's how many years is that? I don't know, I'm not a calculator. Let's figure that 65 minus 27. He invested for 38 years, and he still didn't beat the kid that invested for 8 years. Anyway, so Tony Robbins talks about stacking the good. He has a ritual for every day for 10 minutes. Focus on 3 things that he's grateful for. 1 minute each for each thing. Get rid of anger and fear. He does 3 different things that he does there. I'm going to have to look at other people's notes for that, what they brought in. And that's kind of a neat thing that people have put some information out there and they've added their own notes. Life will never be the same again. There was a story with a child with a liver cancer story. Everyone has their own grief journey. Find something else to value other than the pain he's talked about. Then he had the 5 to thrive. I wrote it down a little bit better, but it's like a little triangle right there. So the state is the center of it. Physical body, focus, language, and then I think I actually did it a little bit better. Yeah. So your compelling future, your identity. Talked about that. And he has his incantation he does, or used to always do. Every day in every way, I'm getting better and better, happier and happier. He changed the word around. So every day in every way, I'm getting better and better. Every day in every way. So he just emphasized a different word each time. Then he had like this little motivational thing he went through towards the end. All right, so I wrote some notes today on my trading. Most important concept, what is the HVS, meaning high volume spike? In other words, what is the predominant level I need to be aware of in my trading to determine overall direction I need to be trading? I need to stop pressing the add button in a losing position. Just take the loss and move on to the next trade. I need to have the confidence that I can come back. Adding to a losing position has not worked for me, but I continue to do it thinking it will stop. I need to know the greatest volume on the session along with the predominant move and trade into that setup as it appears as a 1, 2, 3 or a Ross hook. Can I be patient? This is my greatest weakness and causes the most pain. Volume. Um, I need practice and a lot of practice. I don't. So it says, I don't have the belief that I can win after losing on 9. All right, so this is a morbid thought, but it got me out of bed this evening. Friend of mine is dead now, but I am not. You're not done with this life until your number is up. I still have time, even if it's just one more day. I used to compete against this boy. I don't want to mention his name, who was also left-handed. He beat me out in baseball because he was a better pitcher and was smaller target, smaller strike zone. I thought I was a better baseball player, but I didn't make varsity my junior year. So that got me thinking. I haven't, obviously, I haven't formulated everything together. This is just me just throwing it all out there right now. What is my greatest failure? Is it my blind belief that what I'm doing will work? I said I do not want to go back to the casino. I do not really want to sell insurance. I don't really want to do the work required to sell insurance if I'm really honest with myself. What needs to be accomplished to give it a real go? Website or a sales funnel? I was working on David will help. Connect Facebook to a scheduler, collect leads, call people, drive to homes, sell it to them or not. So what if I finish the insurance idea, collect 10 leads and see how I do with it? Insurance is expensive to get going with no return of investment. I've spent a lot of time, energy, and everything else to become a trader. Need to get my E&O insurance paid for. Bottom line, what is worthy to write in my 33rd journal from Jim Rohn? I have written a lot of craziness inside the journal with nothing meaning. I'm talking about going back to the 32 journals that I have written up to this point. I have good days, so-so days, and bad days, but doesn't everyone? What is the best way to trade NMQ and give myself the best chance to get money out of the market? My mind is split in two right now. I am thinking of doing insurance because it seems easier than trading, but is it? I'm looking at turning my back on my passion and what drives me to get up in the morning in my past. And then I had that Paul Tudor Jones thought with a 5-to-1. Really never given a thought about that. So we're coming back to the 5-to-1 thought again. So I had wrote down, it's Paul Tudor Jones' 5-to-1 philosophy of way of making money. I have not finished this thought process. I was working out some numbers here, the way that I'm attacking the market there. So all right, let's face reality right now. I'm 56, getting ready to turn 57 in another month and a half. When I look at today, each one of, I reset 3 times today. $35 a pop. I spent $105 today at Apex. There's I like the idea of what I just talked about, the 5-to-1 with Paul Tudor Jones. So the philosophy of his money making, how he made his money, is that he could lose 5 different times and still break even. 5-to-1, 4-to-1, 3-to-1, 2-to-1, 1-to-1. So his very first time he goes at a trade, He wants to win 5 times his money for every dollar that he invests. So, so if you have 100 is your stop, you want 500. I guess it would really be, would that be 600, 500 by one? Five, win $5, lose $1. So it'd be win 500, lose 100 to make it the next time. So if you lose the 100, you're still going after 5 to 1, but you have 100 loss, a $500 winner. But you net effect of that is you've got 400, right? It's because you lost 100, you won 500. If you lose 2 times in a row, you lost 200. All right, you're still going to win 500 when you win. So you win 500. If you lose 3 in a row, you're down 300. You win the next one at 500, you're up 200. But if you lose that next one, you're down 400. And then if you win the 500 the fifth time through, and if you lose again 500, then you've lost the 5. And you can still break even on. So in other words, you could lose 5 separate times, right? And still make money. And that was the key to his success over the years. That's what Tony Robbins said about Paul Tudor Jones. That's so. Is your trading system, this is where my thought process is right now. Is your trading system good enough to win 1 time out of 4 different attempts? So you can have 4 bad trades and still make money. It might be a break-even position on that last one. So you could lose 4 separate times and still make money inside there. So if you think about it another way, you're 20% correct. I think I can do that. All right, so this is Dave Knight here from Dave Knight Trading and wherever the hell else I'm calling right now. A lot of soul searching in the month of January and the last part of December. So if I had to say one thing, the bottom line about my journal that I have, my 33rd journal that I started, things that are worthy to put in that journal is the only thing that I'm going to add into that journal this year, or as long as it takes. So it's got to be something that's worthy to write in there. The Paul Tudor Jones thing is definitely worthy to write in once I figure out how I want to attack the market. Is it a 2R target? If it's a 2R target with the current way I have my contracts coming off, I'm only giving myself a 3 to 1. So if that's not good enough, even though I'm moving my stop up against. So now that I know that I've been attacking the market at a 3 to 1, I only given myself 2 losses in this case before I can't. So now it's like kind of making sense to me, So I means I have to be, if I'm for every 3 trades I make, I've got to win one of those 3. I'm asking too much of myself and the market because of that. Where Paul Tudor Jones, where Tony Robbins was talking about it, he attacked the market at a 5 to 1. He could lose 4 separate times and still make money on that 5th trade. In other words, he had a 20% win rate that he was, and still can make money on it. So I need to figure out my plan. If that is a true statement, as you're attacking the futures market and the MNQ or the NQ, I need to figure out how do I attack the market so that I can win 1 out of 5 times overall. Do better than that overall. So anything better than 20%, anything better than 20% in a year. So 1 out of 5, that's not a bad thing. So baseball players are 1 out of 3. I mean, my whole philosophy has been surrounded around 3 to 1, 2 to 1. When you have these max trailing drawdowns going up against you, it forces your hand a lot. All right. It's a puzzle. I like puzzles. It's a puzzle, though. I was at my Barnes & Noble today. I'll leave you with this thought, and then I'm going to get going. I was at my Barnes & Noble today. I was looking for Tony Robbins, any of his books. The only book he had was the one I have. He has a Life Force book or some other book I was going to read. I was going to sit down and read the section on diabetes inside the bookstore, but it wasn't there, so I couldn't read it. I had some time on my hands. I had a dentist appointment. Let's talk about this. The dentist, boy, her name was, let's not talk about her name, but she was brutal. She tore me apart today. That's what I mean. She was, I am sore. Like I got beat up today. Anyway, so what was my train of thought that I lost it? I lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? Can't remember. Oh, so I thought I'd find one of Tony Robbins' books and read it for free instead of having to pay for it on Kindle or something. Since it wasn't there, I went into Amazon. And, you can add to your list. So I added the books that I want to get to my list, and as I make some money or I create some stuff, I want to be able to pick up his last 2 books I don't have, and then his Life Force book or Life Whatever book, I don't have that one. So it's 3 books that Tony's written that I don't have. So I want to get those. He was promoting his product that he's having in March. I'm not going to do it, but I did think that I learned a lot, that if I grow this next year, I want to be able to go to, if he does it again for next year in 2025, do that because it's all from his studio, so you can attend from anywhere in the United States, 4-day event. So I thought, well, maybe next year. We'll take the knowledge that was there today and over this 4-day event, and then see if I can turn it around. So once again, how do I take Paul Tudor Jones information 5 to 1? Think about $5, winning 5 to lose $1, and then you, like I talked about, I kept talking about this. So that, if my trading is set up at a 3 to 1 right now, which it is, I have not given myself enough profit against loss at this point. So that's what I have to work on. All right, I'm gonna get going. 30 minutes here almost. Bye now. God bless. Take care. My wife's calling anyway. Hold on a sec. All right, how do I stop?